I must say, this is one of the most interesting trading systems I have seen so far on the MQL5 marketplace. One of the very few systems which are straightforward. There seems to be no obvious red flags. That is, of course, no financial advice, but so far from a guidance tutorial perspective, I must say that this system is Cheers guys, Nico here, back to the roots. We are going to check out MQL5 trading bot, and a good practice is that we will check out the top performing expert advisors, aka trading bots, on the MQL5 market. As you can see, right now the Gold Reaper MT5 is ranking on number 1. The Quantum Emperor still currently on number 2, about which I already made a video in the past. Check it out here in the upper right corner. And another video I also already made about the Aura White Edition, which you can also check out here in the upper right corner. Now let's go ahead and check out the new one, the Gold Reaper MT5, currently available for $599 US. First of all, why am I checking out this particular trading bot? Well, primarily because it's ranking high. Why is it ranking high? The algorithm is not clear on MQL5, but it is very likely based on sales. And as you can see it right here, this trading bot is being sold 81 times per month. So the provider Prof Algo Limited, as you see here, already made roughly 50k in a month selling this trading bot, what obviously makes it relatively interesting for us to check out if it's a viable system. Should you take it yourself into your trade portfolio? And for that, we will dig into this particular trading bot piece by piece. And as we see it here on the sales page, the reviews, okay, 4.6. There are relatively many reviews, 59 for MQL5 standards. That is quite a lot. Also, as you can see, the comment section is vibrant, what does not necessarily mean much, since as you can see it's being bloated a little bit by single users who might just comment a lot, but it's just a nice sign that, well, at least past buyers are also invested in this trading bot to share its thoughts. And as you can see, the most action is happening from the actual creator himself, who is Wim Schridemakers. And apparently, just looking on his profile, it's looking relatively good for what we can see here on MQL5, having tons of sales and kind of social proof so far. And what is also nice to see that he is actively contributing to the community on MQL as well. So now let's go back to the expert advisor itself. Let's start from the top and let's go to the bottom. So here we see it's called Prop Firm Ready. I would say he's doing that because it sells nicely. A lot of people there are looking for an expert advisor, which you can use on prop challenges. So let's quickly check out this link. And actually, as you see it right here in the upper right corner, it is giving you right away the settings, what is nice. I think I have never seen this before. I mean, obviously, you also need the actual bot to apply the set files, but this is such a frequent question I see on many other trading bots where the set files are shared later on and people somehow miss it. So that's a nice one. I would say one of the first one who's actually sharing them as the very first one, apparently, because I would assume many of his customers so far are asking this simply because they oversaw it or whatever. Let's also check out the ultimate combo deal. So here we just see kind of a sales page, landing page, also based on MQL5. Interesting one where he is just advertising more of his trading bots. Let's skip this one for now, out of scope for this video. Let's check out the public group, community, 1700 members, very vibrant. That is a great sign of an active community, I must say. That is a green light. To be honest, in this video I will not get into the nitty-gritties. I will do like a long-term check of this particular community, but it is great to have this, and it appears at the very least that the members of this group are actively participating, what is a great sign. Cool, now let's go to the last link in this gray box where he is also sharing the live signal. Now let's go quickly through the live signal. As we see the reviews, well, there are not many reviews, also with a low rating. That is apparently quite often so I would skip this one for now. It is already live for quite, not a long while, to be honest, 20 weeks, a little bit less than half a year, but it is already better than many of those signals we see, which are only alive for, let's say, 4 weeks, 2 weeks. So 20 weeks, nothing bad, nothing good about it. We recognize it. Currently, this signal is sitting at 36% made in the past 20 weeks. I mean, regarding also the drawdown, which is roughly sitting at 7%. That is an outstanding drawdown to return ratio. That is what we are looking for. I would say everything what is above 2 is great. What does it mean? When you have, let's say, a return of 10% and a drawdown of 5%, you have the minimum, I would say, ratio of 2, right? Like your returns are double the size of your drawdown, just as a rule of thumb. Next step, let's check out the equity curve. And what I, to be honest, really like is that I don't see symmetries in it. Something what we very often see in martingale systems, grid systems, whatever systems that do not really have a statistical edge or mechanical edge. They are purely based on these kind of gambling approaches. So that is actually nice to see. What we also can observe that indeed the drawdown is spiking from once in a while, but it's not really, at least from what when I'm looking on this particular chart where we see the return and the drawdown. I don't see a pattern here as well regarding the drawdown. What is normally typically happening, right? When we look on, let's say, worst case, martingale grid system, the drawdown is heavily building up, then everything is being recovered in one trade and you're back at 0 again. But what we can actually see here, once in a while, it's not always going straight away back to 0. It takes a couple of trades, what is implying to me, at least as for now, that this one is not a let's risk it all to get back to break even approach, what is the case with every martingale system. So here, unfortunately, we can't really zoom, but when we see it right here, you see we are in a maximum drawdown of 1.48%. And when we go a little bit to the right, it's not directly going to 0, right? We are still sitting at 0.4%. We take obviously another trade back to drawdown of 0, making profits. So no red flag from my side as of now, even also looking on this live signal. Let's check out the statistics. The system live here took 227 trades. That is roughly 2 trades per day over the past 20 weeks. That is a healthy amount of trades, not suspiciously many, because some EAs are taking unreasonable many trades, taking the same stop loss, same position size whatsoever, and just simply appearing to be sophisticated, but here taking on average like 2, 3, sometimes maybe just 1 trade per day. I would say it's a healthy amount of trades for a wide range of algorithmic traders and not too overly complex, even for newbies. So we see also here it's primarily trading on gold against US dollar. Profit factor also in a healthy ratio as of now. And we actually see what is interesting, that the average profit is a little bit lower than the average loss. However, that does not really matter because the win ratio is sitting at 78%. That is why this trading system can afford to have a lower average profit compared to the average loss. Now let's get back to the main sales page and go through the description. So the Gold Reaper is built on the very successful Gold Trade Pro. So there has been an expert advisor already in the past, which has been designed to run on multiple time frames at the same time and has the option to set the trade frequency from very conservative to extreme volatile. The EA uses multiple confirmation algorithms to find the best entry price and runs multiple strategies internally to spread the risk of the trades. So I must say that is relatively interesting because it appears that this system is not only one system, it's actually combining a couple of trade approaches which are not described as of now. But however, it sounds like that you are somewhat diversified regarding trade systems. Maybe we will learn more about them later on. Let's continue. All trades have a stop loss, that's great, and take profit. That is actually a great one. Many systems I observe here on MQL5 are not having a stop loss, so all your savings, or at least the money on your broker, is at jeopardy if things go south. Okay, all trades have a stop loss take profit, but also use a trailing stop loss and trailing take profit to minimize the risk and maximize the potential of each trade. The system is built on the very popular and proven strategy, trading breakouts of important support and resistance levels. That is great that actually this line is in its description. That is what I'm oftenly missing in other descriptions, that the strategy is absolutely not described or too vague, or like some random hyped up keywords are being dropped, such as GPT, AI, machine learning, neural networks. What is so far what I observed 100% complete bullshit. So far, green lights. I don't see any red flags so far. Gold is very suitable for this strategy as it is a highly volatile pair. The system auto-adapts the trade frequency and lot size based on your account size and your maximum allowed drawdown setting. Cool. So there has been probably many questions from current or past users when they said, why do I not have like the same amount of trades or risk size and whatsoever, like the questions which are often asked by newer traders, newer algorithmic traders. So that's probably why this one is in bold and underlined. And overall, that is also great. It's already implying that the risk size is probably based on percentage. So you can probably say you want to risk 1%, 0.5%, and it's not always taking 0.1 lot or 0.05, whatever. Backtests show a very stable growth curve with very controlled drawdowns and fast recoveries. This EA has been stress tested for the longest available period for gold. I'm missing the period here, but okay, that just as a side note. Using multiple price feeds for various brokers, and nothing seems to be able to make it fail. Bold statement, but I mean, he's also partially at least supporting his claim that he was extensively stress testing this EA, even though he's not really going into the details how he was trying to break the EA. No neural network, machine learning, AI, ChatGPT, quantum computer, perfect straight line backtest sales talk, but a real and honest trading system based on proven methodology for development and live execution. I like this one a lot, so he probably also observed like these very bold and mostly wrong claims of other expert advisor trading bot providers. As a developer, he has more than 15 years of experience in creating these kind of systems. He knows it has the potential to work and whatnot. He creates honest systems with the highest probability of trading, like the back tests without cheating. Cool, now here's a little remark to the old EA. Let's check this one out as well. Even though both EAs run similar strategies on gold, the correlation between the two is actually very low. That's a good information probably for old customers, that they can also extend their portfolio by adding this EA to the older Gold Trade Pro. He claims running both EAs together even shows a much stronger growth, and this while the maximum drawdown stays about the same or even goes down in some setups, and then some guidance. Okay, key features. He says it's easy to use. Okay, that's every EA pretty much how you install it, so that's nothing particular for this trading bot. He claims it is not a grid martingale system. That's great if that's true. Okay, he says he has good results. It's good for prop firms. I mean, this has to be probably, that is for why so many communities or like community members are out there, because every prop firm is a little bit different. So it would be interesting to hear if that's true, right? Because every prop firm is having its own rules. Okay, let's go on. Backtesting, simply run on gold using default settings. I mean, the settings he already shared at the very top. And then he's going into the nitty-gritties of these settings, which for time's sake I will skip it for now. Checking out the provided screenshots on his sales page from apparently one of his clients. It's a shame that he's not sharing the actual hyperlink to see how this account is doing right now. But yeah, now he's also providing some kind of proof that he can win prop challenges with this EA, even though it's not really a proof of that, since we do not know if the EA actually did it. He's providing more graphs, proofs of the won prop firms, backtest results. I would always take with a grain of salt and would actually do the backtests myself on my own data. But let's quickly check it out. So we see he backtested it here for the past 4.5 years. Let's say 5 years, tons of trades, as we already observed it before. A profit factor which is similar to the current one we observed on the live signal. That's a great one. Also, the number of the win ratio is relatively close. So I see some overlining so far with the live signal and also with this particular backtest report. But of course, I must say you have to take these backtests again with a grain of salt. Do the backtesting yourself. Try to break it, try to make it fail, and always keep in mind that backtests are based on historical price data, so you can't never really say if this kind of development is also continuing in the future. I mean, that's an obvious note, right? Just some more backtest reports, but I will just skim through those for now. Cool, that was now the whole sales page, and now let's get actually into the nitty-gritties. And let's download the Gold Reaper MT5 on our own MetaTrader platform. So let's get gold active here. Yes, I agree. Gold, let's focus on 2024. That would be roughly also for the time period the live signal has been on, right? Roughly half a year. Let's make this unchecked. We say every tick based on real ticks, because we will use the ticks of my very own broker. I mean, not my very own broker, but the broker I use. Switch off the visual mode for now. We already downloaded the set file. So let's copy paste this one. Let's get back to our platform. Open the data folder. Actually, can make it quicker. We will do it like this. Inputs, right click, load. Copy paste, double click, and now we have the default settings as suggested by the provider. Quick double check, I think it's looking good, and let's fire it off. Let's quickly see if I can spot our risk we take per trade. Okay, trade frequency moderate, maximum allowed spread, okay, Friday stop hour. Okay, that's probably like the kind of one of the many prop firm settings to stop trading, since some prop firms or challenges simply forbid you to trade during the weekend. So that's great, it's probably one of the many settings what makes this EA prop firm ready. Okay, as I see here, we somewhat start with a very low, with a minimum size of a lot, 0.01. Okay, let's go back for now. Let's simply see how the balance curve will check out, and then later on we will go into the visual mode. Without knowing actually how it looks like in a visual mode, I can already see by this very flat blue line, which is the realized profits and losses, and this very fluctuating green line, which is the floating loss and profit, like the equity. Here we see we run in a relatively steep drawdown of roughly $250 on a 10k account. So my assumption is that the stop loss is relatively far away to ensure it's not getting hit. And on the other hand, we go for a very small take profit. Trailing stop loss was mentioned to lock in small gains. That is definitely happening here and there. Like if there are gains, most cases they're relatively small, not here, they're big ones. So assume also when price is moving with some power in a certain direction, bigger gains are being made because you trail, but the price is marching on in one direction without going back. For example, when it's short, it's continuing going down without correction to the upside. So that's how these bigger gains are being locked in. And here again, we are, I would say it's probably one trade and it's actually building up. So you build up a position, probably the price, let's say you take on long, you continue taking more longs, and up to a specific point you just hope it's gonna hit break even, or you can go home for a small take profit. Or in here, in that case, pretty interesting, the system probably is also saying, okay, you know what, let's take a small loss to avoid breaking the whole account. Interesting one. Another side note, while this equity curve is developing, I must say I really like how ugly this balanced equity curve is looking. Most equity curves I'm looking on the MQL5 market are perfect. They are going up in a perfect 45-degree angle, and you're like, wow, that's the holy grail. You can't lose money. Here in this system, I see you win one, you lose one. I mean, obviously you win a little bit more than you lose. That is why the equity curve is still going to the upper right corner. But indeed, there are some periods of decline or simply staying at a plateau, not making any returns to the up or to the downside. What is very classic for a breakout system as described by the provider, right? The breakout system classically relies on price movement, hectic price movement to the up or to the downside. So as soon as price is moving, breaking out price levels, trades are being taken, and the more clear the price is moving into a direction, the bigger the gains right here, right? So you can say here gold has not been moving much during this period, a little bit of movement, and then here, let's say Donald Trump whatsoever made a comment on buying more gold for the US. I mean, that's not true, but like big news, like price move for gold. And here we have a extensive period of pretty strong price movement in gold. So let's say it started here 20th of March 2024. So that would have been roughly right here, right? The 20th of March 2024. And then you see price is moving or breaking to the upside, breaking these levels. We go back. And then it's also again slowing down a little bit. Here we see it at the end of April. Let's see what happened here at the end of April. It's right here, right? So price is not moving anywhere. And then let's say the 10th of May, price is moving up again. 10th of May, so we are somewhere here. Well, probably the price was not really moving strong enough in a particular direction. You see it went up, also went down again. So probably a lot of choppy price action. Here we see many green candles to the upside, right? So that is probably why profits were banked during this period here. Sweet, so the backtest is now done. We ran it until today, which is the 22nd of June. So we had data until yesterday, the 21st of June, which was a Friday. And it's a good backtest for roughly 6 months, which is roughly aligning with the time period of the live signal. I mean, we do not have the same result with the 36%, but probably the live signal might be running on slightly different settings, as when we check it out here, we are on a moderate trade frequency, and there are even other modes which probably have an effect on the outcome, but also on the drawdown, not only on the profitability. When we recall it correctly, we had a drawdown of roughly 7%. So we also have roughly only the half of the drawdown, 3.4%, but still a net profit of roughly 16%. $1,600 on 10K. In that case, I must say it's relatively the same results as the live signal, as the backtest reports. We have seen profit factor in a similar ballpark, the winning ratio also in a similar ballpark, still higher than the live signal, but backtests mostly always a little bit over optimistic and skewed to the upside. Besides that, all the other stats such as the average profit and loss trade is also similar to the backtest reports and to the live signal we have seen. So no red flags so far. Let's quickly go back to the equity curve. And as you can see, we peaked somewhere here. Let's see, when was this? End of April. Since then, this was the highest point. Since then, we are in a drawdown with this system. Let's actually see if that is also the case with the live signal. And yes, indeed, it absolutely aligns with the live signal. What is great that this aligns with the backtest. Roughly at the end of April, beginning of May, we are also in a drawdown with this particular system. Nothing bad about it. That's part of the game. It's just nice to see that this is pretty similar to the equity curve we also see here on the live signal. Next step for me will be to check out this system in the visual mode. And I also want to see what the system is doing, and I want to figure out an explanation what this is here, right? Because I see that the system is apparently stacking up trades, right? It's apparently maybe the trade is not moving in the right direction, and then the system adds more lot size to the position. I'm not sure yet, but this is something what I would like to clarify before turning on this bot. So for that, let's check out the visual mode. I will also check the profit in pips, so it will be a little bit faster. So the creator claims that the time frame does not matter. It would have been nice to know, obviously, on what exact time frame the system is running for a more precise observation what the system is doing, but we will have to work with it. So, cool. Even before it really started to run, we see that the system is taking tons of pending orders to the up and to the downside. Let's quickly zoom out. Actually, this one, not sure what this box is doing, what indicator that is. Let's let it run for a little bit. It's actually based on ATR, so that's great to see. That's the best practice we also use in our community for our systems. The ATR is dynamically adjusting to the volatility in the market, so that is also a great best practice. Let's see if I can figure out where the system is placing the entries. 1974. Actually, you can check out the highs and lows. When I do it like this, you can also see it. 1974, 1973, 1977, 1975. So it's not exactly on the daily time frame. Let's see it for the upside. So what I'm checking right now is for the short pending orders, the price levels, to figure out where exactly the system is placing these orders. Let's do the same maybe for the upside. I mean, we have tons of one. Here's one entry. It's like the green lines I'm looking at right here for the shorts. Here for the longs again. So let's see. So here we have the high at 28.8. You see it right here in this corner, 28.8. Let's see if there's anything. Not really, no. It's not always exactly on the high of the daily time frame. So my best guess is probably somewhere 28.8, 2070, 28.7, 28.838. Here we go. 28.7. Okay, I can't really figure out right now where exactly the price levels will be. My very best guess is that the system is simply checking probably first on the daily time frame where are the recent highs and lows based on so-called pivot points, right? So there has to be a point in time where like the price level development has been the highest from the left and from the right side, and this one is like the skyscraper price development. Here this is also the lowest point of time for quite a while from the left side, from the right side. So the system is taking maybe this area into consideration to go short, and then maybe checking out on the 4-hour time frame or on the 1-hour time frame, entering trades on these price levels. That would be my best case. Pretty straightforward, and I'm also pretty confident that this is, let's say, to 80% correct, because there can be, of course, always kind of change by adding a little bit of pips to say, hey, enter on these price levels plus minus 20 pips, right? So now you see we went short because here was also a price level maybe somewhere here where the system was entering a couple of short trades, sometimes at the same price level, what is a little bit weird always, but not all the trades has been entered on the same price level. Let's see if we can spot something on the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, maybe it was this price level. Let's see, low 2036. Yeah, it has been 2031. Yeah, it's a tough guess game, I must say. But what I would say with quite some confidence, that this system is checking for like past price developments, like for extreme lows and extreme highs, drawing these horizontal lines via pending orders, and then as soon price approaches these price levels, simply entering long and short. I think the only sensitivity I would say in this system is that since the system is not really taking big gains, like guaranteed ones, sometimes it's also only taking small ones, and the drawdown is quite steep, so there can be unfortunate periods where the system is not performing and could make the user like you a little bit uncomfortable, who is not used to this kind of trading system or way of investing, when you see that you are in a floating loss of, let's say, 2, 3, 4, 5% sometimes. I mean, we saw that this is not happening every day, but it is happening from time to time. So that is maybe just as a side note. But yeah, you see the system is heavily based on pending orders, and by just looking on like these colors, right, these green lines simply mean these are like entry positions here to the upside, I would guess, here to the low, to the yeah, taking trades short, simply signalizing me, making me more confident it is looking on extreme highs and extreme lows, and I would say that is an overall viable trading system. I must say, this is one of the most interesting trading systems I have seen so far on the MQL5 marketplace. One of the very few systems which are straightforward, fair. There seems to be no obvious red flags as of now. I mean, that is of course no financial advice, but so far from a guidance tutorial perspective, I must say that this system is way more honest and like a fair system, fair to its potential customers who are interested in getting such an algorithmic system in their trading portfolio. Therefore, my final conclusion, thumbs up, really happy to see. I'm really curious to see how the live signal will perform in the near future. I will, as I will do it every time, put the hyperlink of the live signal in the video description to keep the provider of those systems accountable, since we have seen it a lot of times in the past that many of those providers, expert advisor creators, are simply switching their live signals, misleading their customers. There was another expert advisor review. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a subscription, apple juice. Leave a like to support this video, leave a sub to support the channel as well and to keep up to date with future videos. See you in the next one. Cheers and goodbye.